who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
Hey, you gonna do this or what? You gotta do it. And keep doing it. Do it big. Bigger. Hit it. Step it up. Always take the risk. Don't just watch it. Put your phone down and do it. Drip splash like the ice on the wrist. That's a call I can't miss. Set my goals like a goal. Hit the switch. Work. Check it off the checklist. In a position to win. In a position to go. In a position to win. Do it with one hand behind your back.
One now.
Do it blindfolded.
Next.
Do it your endorsement deal. Say you shouldn't.
Section 43C, no rope swing over canyon dunks.
Like what's happening? Do what they say you can.
Can you?
Because there are those who don't and those who do. Yes, sir. Let's do.
Good evening and happy Halloween from Orem, Utah. We are live inside the Lockhart Arena on the campus of Utah Valley University. I'm Matthew Biamonte, and I'm joined once again by Kyle Bruder here for another edition of WAC Volleyball here on the WAC Digital Network, on YouTube, the KSL TV app. Thank you for joining us for another conference matchup that features the Wolverines and the visiting Roadrunners of CSU Bakersfield. And this is their second meeting of the season. Their first meeting was down in Southern California in Bakersfield.
Utah Valley was able to sweep them on the road, so that was a huge win for the Wolverines. But the Roadrunners coming back here with a vengeance. It's almost always an exciting matchup between these two teams. I don't care what the roster is. In any given year, you're in for a tight one, and so I'm excited to see how both teams fight in this matchup this evening.
I'm curious to see how both teams finish out the month of October. The Roadrunners are 2-6 in the month of October. They had a 5-game losing streak that was snapped earlier this week against Chicago State in a 5-set decisive win for Chicago State. And the Wolverines return home after losing 2 games on a tough road trip at New Mexico State and at UTRGV. So this is a big game, Kyle, for both teams. Wolverines at 5-5 in conference play, Roadrunners at 3-7, and especially for the Wolverines to get back a little higher in the seeding possibilities for the conference tournament.
Yeah, the Wolverines, the trend over the years since they've been in the Western Athletic Conference, They've had kind of rough starts to the season, but they've gradually gotten better, and I think that's what we're seeing right now as they've really gotten their full strength back. There were a couple of players that had some injuries and illnesses where they were missing some time. It looks like the Wolverines have their full strength on the court right now, so you know this is the team that really needs to gel the way that they need to.
Starters for the home Wolverines: number 5, Megan Childs; number 6, Saren Merrill; number 7, Maddie Wardle. Number 8, Mikayla Jarema. Number 9, Kasna Terafiti. Number 10, Bailey Christensen. And number 12, Jasmine Nutu-Puivaha. They're coached by Sam Atoa in his 21st season. The Wolverines will be wearing white and black. Roadrunners in blue. And let's get to those starting lineups. Starting number 1, Lesa Elisaya. Starting number 2, Brooke Boyso. Starting number 5, Mapuola Sakona. Starting number 7, Rafa Bonifacio. Starting number 11, Hana Makanova. Also starting number 13, Emily Hansen. And rounding out that starting lineup, number 19, Melitza Vukobrat. They're coached by Giovanna Mello in her 6th season at the helm for the Roadrunners.
You know, before we get the first serve up here, something really interesting about CSU Bakersfield is they made a little position change only 4 matches ago, where they moved senior Rafa Bonifacio from outside hitter to libero. And she's been recording 20-plus digs in all 4 of those matches since she changed it. So she'll be someone to keep an eye on as she's still kind of getting into the swing of things at a completely different position as a senior.
We are underway. Wardle over to Christensen, and it's Bailey Christensen who gets the Wolverines on the board first here on Halloween night.
I love seeing a player like Christensen get involved early like that and get her confidence up, because Utah Valley's obviously got a lot of heavy hitters. They've got a lot of scoring power, and when you have a player that she's filled in nicely for other players when they've been out, but having her step it up right there at the first play of the game, I think we may be in for a special night from her.
That was a service error by Maddie Wardle, and now it's the Roadrunners to serve. Number 13, Emily Hansen. Wardle on the slide. We do have an error on Utah Valley, and the Roadrunners take a 2-1 lead. Speaking of the Roadrunners, Kyle, for those of you at home who maybe haven't watched any matches, who's someone we should keep an eye on for them?
The one that stands out the most is Haley McCluskey. She's averaging, I think it's 2.6 kills. She has 13-plus kills in 6 matches this season, and recently tied a career high with 20 kills at Chicago State. That was on September 28th. So, she's been performing really well this season, so I think she would be the one that the Wolverines need to focus on.
She did not start for the Roadrunners, and we'll have to keep an eye on her availability here tonight. Beautiful serve by the Wolverines, and the Runners will get it over on the 3rd hit. Merrill to Wardle, down the middle to Megan Childs, and a kill for Megan.
That was, in theory, should be an automatic point for Utah Valley, because they were completely in system. Bakersfield didn't really get a solid swing at the ball, and so Utah Valley was able to set up exactly what they wanted, and those are the plays you have to deliver on. Great job by Childs.
Saren Merrill high into the air. Now they're going to try Terafiti, who gets it going for Utah Valley. The Wolverines leader in kills with 287 on the season.
She's also leading the conference with 3.78 kills per set.
She is a special talent offensively. Another service error for the Wolverines early, so the serve has not been kind for Utah Valley as they lead by 1, but we talk about this each and every broadcast here if you're new, but Kasna Terafiti, only a sophomore out of Pleasant Grove High School. She is a special, special talent, and I think when it's all said and done for Kasna, she'll be high up in the Wolverine record books.
I've been talking to Kaylee Dixon about Kasna. Kaylee actually...
Who is Kaylee Dixon?
She is the all-time leader in kills here at Utah Valley, has been on the broadcast with me a few times. And, she feels like Kasna is probably going to close in on that record, as Kasna is only a sophomore this season, which just is, mind-boggling. But Kaylee Dixon, she gives so much insight into what Kasna does because she coached her, too. Kaylee coached with Elise Jones.
Another former Wolverine.
Exactly. And
a Wolverine great, I should add.
Yes, you have to give it up to both of those players. And Utah Valley looks like CSUB was able to side out real quick. The Wolverines lead by 2, but
there was a nice play by Jarema in your commentary there on Kasna Terafiti. Back to serve, number 7, Rafa Bonifacio. And that is the third service error early here in the first set. 2 of the Wolverines and 1 now by the Roadrunners. So Neither team very sharp from the service line to start this one off. And now Jasa Funk-Stratton into action for the first time tonight for the Wolverines. She's back on the service line. They try the slide to Makanova. The Wolverines take care of it. Now it's Terafiti over the block. Good recovery by CSUB. Jarema gets hands on it, but it's still going. Saren Merrill, nice effort there, but the point will go to CSUB, and that one may have been out on that back line.
It's one of those 50-50 balls where you make a decision and it just didn't fall for Utah Valley. The lead back to 2, and Merrill doing Merrill things, diving for every ball she sees.
Can't fault her. She's so good at giving maximum effort on each and every opportunity.
Make that another service error.
4 service errors here in the first 10 points.
Not just the first set. We're about not even midway through the first set.
Vukobrot. Now it's the Wolverines' turn. It's Christensen over the block. Great location by Bailey Christensen. Her 3rd kill here in the first set. The Wolverines lead by 4. Gotta love that hitting percentage if you're a Wolverine fan. 667.
Real nice. No errors so far, other than the service errors. The Wolverines have been playing some clean volleyball. Oh, the setter's dump nearly got him. Speaking of the setter's dump, I have to tell you this, because you weren't here on the last broadcast, but I saw something that we haven't seen much of since Sierra Starley, and that is the setter's dump, which came from Maddie Wardle on 2 different occasions, and it was just so unexpected. I kind of lost it on the broadcast. I was so excited about it. So keep an eye on her. I would love to see her.
She's done a nice job this season. Those are big shoes to fill. I mean, Sierra hasn't been here for a few years now, but Maddie Wardle has done a nice job filling in at that setter position. And one thing to note about the Wolverine setting position is that it's a 2-person attack from that position. Maddie Wardle does a nice job, and also Jasa Funk-Stratton as well, who's on the floor right now for the Wolverines. There's the set to Kaylee Downs. An easy finish there from Bailey Christensen, who's off to a hot start with 4 kills on 5 attempts.
She's had a great start, probably the best start we've seen from her so far this season, and efficient as well.
Second on the team in kills behind Kasna Terafiti. Huge swing there from Hanna Makanova, the redshirt freshman middle blocker out of the Czech Republic. Makanova with 2 kills for CSUB.
Serious heat on that kill.
Makanova will serve. Jasa tracks it down. It's Terafiti. Just a bit long. Good idea there from Kasna, but the point does go to the runners.
Something else I've noticed about Bailey Christensen today is she's been passing the ball well. That initial
reception,
the pass reception from her. Unfortunately, throughout the season, there have been times where she didn't pass the ball well, and they would keep attacking her over and over again. And it just kind of piled up, unfortunately. But her hitting the ball as well as she has, that's got to do wonders for just the overall confidence with any athlete. If you start playing well, that's going to up every other aspect of your game, and it's showing on the receiving end right there, too.
And before the season began, Kyle, and this is for the viewers at home, we weren't entirely sure how big of a role Bailey Christensen would have, but the absence of Kristen Bell has opened the door, and she has walked straight through and been such a, I don't want to say pleasant surprise, but I think she's exceeded everyone's expectations. She's having a fantastic season.
Well, you love to see players, get put into a position and then succeed. And a service ace there by Maddie Wardle, who's been leading the way in that department for the Wolverines all year.
Kasna off the green pipe and straight down. You don't see many of those a season, but when they do, they usually come back to hurt you. And it is a fair game when it hits the low ceiling here in the Lockhart Arena.
As long as it stays on your side. If it hits it and then travels to the other side, it is considered out.
Wardle to Christensen. Huge swing from Bailey. credit Elisaya for keeping that one in. She was tiptoeing over there by the stands. And then the block by Brooke Busseau.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You don't see Jasmine Nutupuivaha get blocked like that down the middle very often. She's going to get angry, and she is going to fire that thing so hard. I'm predicting it. I've seen it before. It's going to happen.
Will they go to her right here? They're going to try Christensen, who has the hot hand. Another kill for Bailey Christensen. Got to love the Wolverines side out right now, Kyle.
The percentage has been stellar. Just about to, exactly 70% right now. So you're always going to be in a good position when you're at that. The 4-point lead we've seen many, many times can disappear very quickly. And now 3 points. So if you're Utah Valley, got to tighten things up a little bit.
Serving will be number 5, Mapuola Sakona, a junior from Honolulu, Hawaii. A service ace for Sakona. Beautiful serve there, cutting the lead to 2. First service ace of the match for CSUB. 11th service ace on the season for Sakona. And that is followed up by a service error. Substitutions now for the Roadrunners and the Wolverines. For CSUB, it's number 9, Hannah Manzanares. And for the Wolverines, we'll tell you right after the first break here on the WAC Digital Network. Wolverines lead 15-12. Welcome back to the Lockhart Arena, where the Wolverines lead 15-12 here on Halloween night. Happy Halloween to all of you watching, and thank you for spending it with us here as the Wolverines host the Roadrunners. It's been a pretty even first set so far. Wolverines have been a little sharper in the side-out percentage, 66-53 in advantage of the Wolverines, and the hitting percentage favors the Wolverines as well. A service ace, the third service ace of the set, second by the Wolverines, and that one was courtesy of Jasmine Nutupuivaha.
Yeah, I'm sure that's got to feel good for her. She's hitting in the negative right now at negative 333, while she is the best hitter on the team by far.
Yeah, percentage-wise, she's the only player with like over 50 sets played, over 300% for the season. But Kylie Dramer was up there as well, but she missed some time in the middle of the season. Serving now, Rafa Bonifacio. They're going to try making childs for the Wolverines. Overpass to Christensen. Down the middle to Jarema.
Oh, looks like they got the deflection. Bakersfield in disbelief.
The coaching staff, led by Giovanna Mello, not sure about the touch because the hit by Jarema was definitely long, but it's going to stay point to the Wolverines, and that's always a tough call. It's such a fast hit, it's hard to tell. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions.
Yeah, me too.
There's the set from Elisaya. And the kill, courtesy of Makanova. 3 kills now for Hana Makanova. Christensen leads the way for all players with 5 for Utah Valley. Jasa to Kazna. It goes through the block. The hard swing from Terafiti, and a quick side out for the Wolverines.
That ball basically just stopped dead in its tracks and fell straight down. But